Jay Drone here. What's going on, guys? This is World Tech Toys Spider-Man drone. It's basically a Striker done up like Spider-Man. Cool controller. And the Striker is an X5C clone. It gets better range than the X5C, but it's not as known as the X5C. The X5C is not a bad drone at all, but this controller gets better range than the stock X5C's controller did. The Striker was actually basically what I learned how to fly on. These were able to be picked up for 20 and change, I think, at one of the department stores. So we go ahead and turn it on. Turn this on, throttle up, down, lightly up will let you know that you're bound properly, and we're gonna give this a fly. We got palm trees. We are in Cocoa Beach, Florida, and we are at the resort, so we're gonna put this up and we'll show you the pitch rate left to right, which is not great, but on a day like this where there's like no wind, you can absolutely fly in it. It will increase your flight time if you do not increase your pitch rate. There's a little look at the yaw rate. We'll bring it back to show you the yaw rate. It's only the second time that I've flown this. The other time was down south, I believe, when we were heading to New Orleans. And we're going to increase speed. It says speed. There's our left to right. Bring it back around. So we've increased in pitch rate. We'll try to get this in front of us. This is not a super awesome drone to get an eye to eye with, because most of the detail is on top of it, but let's see. Damn. I mean, even flying away from ourselves, that might be a good shot with the palm trees in the background. And upper right bumper, automatic flip button, automatic barrel roll. And this did not come with a camera. It does have a camera port underneath it. Again, it's just like the Striker. It's like the X5C. I'm sure the camera port is live. If you have an X5C's camera or a Striker's camera, I'm sure it will plug right into it without a problem. It takes a 500 milliamp an hour battery, 3.7 volt, and should get a decent flight time, especially on a really docile day like today. So we're in the second speed setting. We are going to go ahead and put it in the third speed setting. Take a little look at the funnels. Funnels are nice in the third speed setting. We've increased pitch, we've increased yaw, and a little flip, flip, barrel, barrel. One thing to take note of this, I've noted in my other videos that a lot of drones will lift up on the flipping. This one will not, or it does a little bit, very little. Not so much that you want to be super low to the ground. Yeah. As you can see, we kind of lost altitude there for a little bit. Really nice flyer. I traveled considerable distance to get down here, and this was one of the really toy grade drones that I brought. The other brush drones that I have are basically whoops, and they're ducted fan whoops. This is a gear-to-gear fed motor. The other stuff that I have is basically brushless motors. I brought brushless stuff in case we encountered wind. This will deal well with wind because it has that third pitch rate. But as far as like being an extreme flyer, this is toy grade. This is what you basically should learn to fly on. Despite the fact it looks like altitude hold, I have my left stick centered. It's raising in altitude just a little bit. There is no altitude hold on this. This is a you fly it. There is no features on this besides maybe headless mode and a generic return to home, which is basically going to come back on a base heading from whichever way it started off at. Range, we'll go ahead and fly it out here. Should get great range. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back. It's getting good range. Drone like this can lift a Mobius. A small Mobius can definitely lift the Firefly Cube camera that you can get for $20. I'll link the Cube camera down below. I think the Cube camera would be the best on this, and orientation is super easy to figure out on this. As here, we'll back up away from ourselves, and then we'll come forward. We can see the blue prop guards in the back and the red in the front. Makes it super easy to orientate. There's a little look at the yaw rate. We have indicator lights underneath, which I think are backwards to my liking. Yes, we have green in the back, red in the front. I would prefer the red in the back and the green in the front, but I did not manufacture this drone. We'll go ahead, why don't we go over here and we'll get a different look at the property here as I'm flying. We'll continue flying, but just so we're not stated in the one direction. Got tennis courts over here. I'm actually heading over to the pool after this flight, even before I load this to YouTube. It's almost 80 degrees out here, and for Pennsylvania weather, there's actually a snow advisory at home, and it's cold at home. School's canceled for the day. Not here. Fun flyer. It's definitely just to get out and release some stress. Definitely a nice flyer. Again, nothing. It wasn't expensive. It's not a pro grade drone by any mean. And then we got people, I believe, coming down here. Let's see. Yep, we got people coming down here. So we are going to go over here. And as you can see, they weren't bothered by it. It wasn't an annoyance to them. It's a pretty low-key drone, really not an aggressive sound. So it's definitely something you can fly in the general public without having people getting mad that there's this thing buzzing around. And we go back this way. Hello. And that right there was security. He didn't look too thrilled about the drone flying around, but he also didn't say nothing, and he kind of looked back as he was flying back, but he didn't come around and he didn't tell me to stop flying it. So again, guys, there's always the rule per se, don't fly drones around people. Dude, this drone weighs under a half a pound. If it hits somebody, it's not going to hurt them. Just be cautious. I mean, if there was 100 people standing around here, I probably wouldn't fly this around here. There's really not that many people. It's early in the morning, and it's a nice area to fly in. You got to use your better judgment, just like with the Tello, dude. I'll fly the Tello around people all day because it's a small drone, and people actually are very interested in it. We got an LVC warning here, so we're not going to prolong this flight. This is basically what you can expect from a docile flight. And what we will do a backflip. Nope. Good learning experience, which I kind of knew that, but I wasn't thinking. It won't do the flips when you have LVC. So we're going to bring it back, and that's a little bit high. I'm used to having wind. At home. Bring it back, and kill throttle. That's a nice catch. Spider-Man drone. J-Drone in Florida. If you have not subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Questions, comments, concerns down below. Definitely get at me. Later.